Okay, well, I shall begin then. So, welcome to the Sweet State 37, um, the August 2021 edition of the Sweet State. For those who don't know what the Sweet State is, it's basically a monthly sort of state of the channel slash vlog style series where I just basically update the people who watch my channel as to what's going on in the channel. And yeah, been doing this for 3 years now. As you can tell by the fact this is the 37th iteration of the Sweet State. And here we are. So let's cut to my webcam and hello everyone. It's a beautiful, well, it's cloudy, sunny, I guess, here in the UK. You have the popcorn out, people tell me. Hey, how you doing? What's the popcorn for? And how you doing today? Are you starving? Okay, fair enough. Well, good working at the moment. I see. Well, hopefully, working week and unless you are working at home or something and you are your own boss. Hope they don't catch you watching the stream and get into any trouble. I won't be able to do much to persuade your boss otherwise. Don't fire this employee. They're very good. This is a good, honest channel. We do nice things here. He's just learning about maths and businessy stuff. Oh, you're working from home. Okay. Well, in that case, then do whatever you like, I guess. That's all right then. You're all good. You're all good. So I thought I'd get this. You know me. I like to get these sweet states done early in the month, so that it's kind of done, and gotta do them at some point. Figure earlier the better. I've decided to do this one during the day for a change because I'm gonna be quite busy this week. So it's quite a few things for me to talk. Well, not that many actually, but some of the stuff might be a bit more open-ended, I guess. So, as always with the Sweet States, I start off with a brief overview of my personal situation, which usually goes on for half an hour, but maybe not today, because there's not really a lot to say. Obviously, I'm currently on the summer break. This is my third week of a full 6. I do actually go back on September the 1st, back at my job, my now full-time job, which is fantastic. It's nice to have that job security, at least for another year, hopefully for many more years to come. It'll be nice. I've never really held a job longer than 5 years in the past, and that was a 8-hour-a-week deal way back when I was at university. A proper full-time job I've not held for perhaps longer than 2 or 3 years at best, and that's usually with a lot of chopping and changing of locations and dodgy private shit. So nice. It'll be nice to have a job that I can just reliably know I'm going to be going back into year after year after year, and then I can just focus on everything else really, and everything else is the stuff that needs to be worked on. But I am enjoying the summer break so far. I've not done a massive amount at the moment, but this week is going to more than make up for it. This week I have my friend's wedding coming up on the Saturday, which is why my streaming times this week are going to be a little less. I'm going to be busy all day Saturday with my friend's wedding, which is a thing. Tomorrow I'm actually out all day as well. I'm going to be watching a cricket match and actually going out to a cricket game for the first time in a while. Just getting away from my local area, travelling a little bit, Not done that for probably more than 18 months, really. Mostly because when the pandemic started, I was unemployed. I didn't really have just before it started, I was unemployed for a while, so I've not been able to have the money to go out and do that. Now I have that security. I can go out and travel again, at least locally anyway, which is nice. And then Wednesday nights, the poker nights are back. Started last week. My Wednesday night poker nights have returned. So every Wednesday night from now on, I'm going to be playing some poker instead of streaming. So just to let you all know of that change, Wednesday night streaming will be not really a thing anymore. Unless I bust out early one week and then I just go home and decide, fuck it, I'm going to stream for 2 hours because I'm not hanging around. Which is a possibility especially when I go back to work, when I won't be able to go out and drink while I play poker, because obviously I'll be working the next day. So you might get lucky then, but I don't know if you'd really want a stream from someone who has just bust out of poker within the first half hour, who's probably not too happy about that, coming home and then streaming for 2 hours. So essentially count the Wednesday streams as a non-factor from now on. Because obviously I'm quite going out and playing poker. What can I say? It's fun for me. So other than that, summer is summer. I've done things, had a stag do, sort of just relaxed really, been a bit lazy, but then I've been able to have the luxury of being able to do that instead of getting up early 5 days a week and working quite hard. I can just get up whenever I want sometimes. I can just sort of relax, get through my books, read shit, do stuff. Just generally chill out and be lazy. I've earned it, It's not like I've got some nagging thing saying, oh, I'm unemployed, I really shouldn't be relaxing like this, like I had last year this time, or the year before, when I was just unemployed and not really doing much, and it didn't feel the same. It feels a lot different compared to when you're unemployed and have the free time to stream, and when you're employed and you're on a holiday break, sanctioned holiday break, and you can then, it just feels earned, You don't have to worry about going, oh, I really shouldn't be doing this, I should be looking for jobs. It's like, no, you've got a job. You have a job now. You don't have to worry about it. You could just get on with life. Live it. Feels good, man. Feels good. Obviously, the only problem I do sort of run into with that is when I'm not working, I do sort of struggle sometimes to what I sort of call filling the void, if you will. I do struggle with that because for me, getting up and working is something that's sort of I enjoy my job and it fills the day, and I got a nice structure of get up early, go to work, maybe go to the gym after work 3 days a week, then come home, and then after you've eaten some food, then you have the free time to stream or do whatever. And when I'm not doing that, it's a bit it feels like it's a bit thrown off for me as to what I actually am supposed to do. I have all this free time, and honestly, partly due to the pandemic still being a thing, but partly because of other factors, it sometimes feels like I struggle to think, what do I actually do today? What's my drive for today, Obviously I could be streaming, but that's not the only thing I should be doing, of course, and obviously, I've learned from the past that not to just throw everything into live streaming is not a good idea. As tempting as it might be, it's not exactly the healthiest option to just stream all the time, But I do sometimes struggle to think of things to do. I get very lazy. I get sort of I just don't feel like doing anything. I just feel like whatever. This is a kind of void where I start falling into the trap. Well, this is a kind of void where in the past I've fallen into the trap of playing MMORPGs, to fill the void, have some kind of obsession to consume your time and play this game for hours upon hours on end. I'm sort of doing that with Fall Guys at the moment, but I know that Fall Guys at least has an ending. I hit level 15 Fall Guys, I complete the weekly challenge, and I'm done. I don't have to keep playing it and keep playing it and keep playing it. It has a finite sort of end as such for me, And that in a sense is kind of why I always used to struggle playing MMOs. I kind of like MMOs for a few months, then I get fed up at some point because they just never end. I did try Final Fantasy 14. That was the last MMORPG I played. You probably might have seen I think I did a first impressions on this channel, or Dopewids, whatever. I played Final Fantasy 14. I beat the vanilla game post. No, I actually got a sub. I decided to purchase a sub for a bit. I completed the game up to the end of the first half of the A Realm Reborn content, and then I just got bored. I just stopped. I was like, I'm done. I've spent 200 hours. I'm happy. You know, I know there's a lot of game left to go. I know there was a shitload of stuff, but I was content. You know, I'd spent 200 hours. I was happy. You know, I know I've been tempted a few times to maybe go back and play again. Don't play as a healer. Play as a DPS instead, because I was not very. Yeah, I know, but the thing is that I'd have to play it for months and months and months. And the thing is, Evil for me is I don't have that time anymore. I don't have that commitment. I do not. And that's the trap I'm not going to fall into. Right now, honestly, I could play Final Fantasy 14 for the next 4 weeks. As soon as I go back to work, I have a problem. And the problem is I don't have all the time in the world anymore. You know, and that's the thing. I no longer have all that time, or the desire to spend all that time on a single game like that. You know, like, don't get me wrong, if I had all the time in the world and I was like permanently never working, like I've won the lottery, I probably would play Final Fantasy 14. I'd probably start from the beginning again. I'd play as a DPS so I could catch up on the story, and then I'd play it and get all the way, because it does seem like a good fun game. But I don't want to spend that amount of time. Yeah, I know, but I don't really play games like that. You know, for me, if I'm playing a game, I get invested. I want to keep playing it and playing it and playing it. I can't just casually switch onto it. Not with a game like that, anyway. With a game like Fall Guys or something else, it's easy. But with a game like that, you really commit a lot of time because there's so much to do. You know, you really want to do things, and that's fine for those who have the time to do that. I used to have the time for that, not necessarily with the best intentions. Now I don't. My time sink of choice is this. My live streaming is my grind, if you will. You know, this is my Sigma male grind set. Live stream every day. Except I don't anymore. Good thing I don't too. This is the time sink I've chosen to invest in, you know, because, again, also, I like it. Well, you don't have to play all the content if you don't like it. Well, you can just play the story and unsub if you want. Well, that's what I did. I beat vanilla, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm happy. I don't want to play anymore. You know, I've had my 200 hours, and I'm finished. You know, as much as I'd like to continue the story and really see where it goes, I'm happy. I've got my money's worth, you know. It was fun while it lasted. There was lots of cool things, and I'm done. And therefore, I got my money's worth. And it has been a hard temptation to go to think, I'll just go back and play it again. You know, I'll just do whatever. But nah, I know better, because I always get fed up of MMOs at some point. I always do. And that's largely because I never play with anyone, so I eventually get fed up. You know, it's the pattern I've had for MMOs for years, not just this Final Fantasy 14, but for years. You know, Albion Online, played it for several months, got bored when the grind got too much. Terror, loved it for a while, but when the grind got too much, I stopped playing. Even way back in the day, like with World of Warcraft, vanilla WoW, we're talking, not WoW Classic, although I did play WoW Classic and hit 60. And I stopped playing because the PvP servers are shit. And it's probably a good thing I did, because if I was on a PvE server, I'd probably still be playing it. Perhaps. Or maybe I'd probably just quit. I don't know. But yeah, I stopped playing. And then I stopped playing because the PvP servers are shit. And it's probably a good thing I did, because if I was on a PvE server, I'd probably still be playing it. Perhaps. Or maybe I'd probably just quit. But vanilla WoW, I hit 60 back in the day, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that's it. It seems to me with me and MMOs, it's like I like I like them to have a finite conclusion. Like with WildStar too, hit level cap in vanilla WildStar when that first came out, and then there was nothing left to do other than dungeons, which are too hard. So I play them for a few months. I get invested. If I hit a level cap or a grind point, that's it. I get bored. So again, filling the void for me is sometimes a difficult thing to do. It's part of me sort of also struggling to be a bit more social, but it's getting out the lazy mentality of just thinking you just watch YouTube videos and half-ass play games. It's like, no, you need to do productive things. Read books. I've started reading more books. I've nearly got through my entire library now. In fact, I've read a lot more books. I used to have a massive collection. Now it's like 5 books left. Some big volumes, but I've only got about 5 or 6 left. And that's the problem I have when I'm not working. When I'm working, I have a good system. When I'm not working, it's like sometimes I find myself struggling with. I find myself struggling. What do I do? Sometimes I don't. Especially now that there's more options open with the pandemic loosening, it's a bit easier. But it's still a long-term problem I have. Is I need to fill the void with something positive, and that's an ongoing thing. So I'm also aiming to get down to the 17 stone bracket by the end of this month, by the start of September. I'm going to commit August to try and lose a decent chunk of weight and get down to 17 stone so that when I start my new classroom, I will be a little healthier, a little more able, that kind of thing, I think if I really sort of, because I want to sort of push a healthier lifestyle where I'm not indulging as much, where I'm eating and drinking far more sensibly, where I'm using my time more productively, where I'm indicating more mind. Oh, it's just a postman. I thought someone was coming home then. Not that I'd be surprised, but anyway. But yeah, like eating and drinking more healthier, not sort of indulging with stuff, trying to be more positive, be more mindful, if you will. Display more mindfulness. I need to consider starting some meditation, I think. I've never really tried meditation before. It's just slightly there because there's a bit of glare from the reflection of something off the curtain. That kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing I'm aiming to do. Like, try and adopt a more positive, less void-filled mindset. Where I actually do more things. Where, I'm not wasting time on doing nothing. I could be. I think it's important to have time where you can sort of relax and not do things so productively. But I know I sometimes spend a lot of time doing that and not enough time actually getting stuff done. And I think that's led me to a bit of a problem with the channel as of late. Or maybe not, I don't know. I'll get onto that in a few moments. I do have a concern for the channel of sorts. Although I don't have any actual real sort of proof for it. So, yeah, that's sort of a summary of my personal situation. I'm enjoying the summer break. I'm trying to get down to the 17 stone weight bracket by the end of the month. So hopefully when Sweet State 38 drops, I'll be able to proudly report that I am 17 stone whatever. You'll see it physically on me that I've lost a bit of weight, a bit more. I did notice 1 or 2 people in the last month or so saying I've lost a bit of weight. I definitely have compared to last year. I've done well to sort of keep it off, but I need to move to the next level now and try and lose another stone or 2. I've sort of struggled with that for most of the year. I started off, 2020 was good for that. I lost 2 stone, but then I've been sort of struggling around the 18 stone bracket and I've not been able to reduce it because, I still need to make further lifestyle changes, which haven't happened yet, but we will get there eventually. I'll stubbornly get myself on the right track. Yeah, so busy week ahead this week. With my friend's wedding, a lot of prep to do, various jobs to do in the day. I am streaming tonight, obviously, more Brutal Hexen. I will be not streaming tomorrow, Wednesday or Saturday, or Friday, obviously, still gaming night. So really, I'm going to be able to stream 3 times a week this week. It's going to be a very low stream, unless I stream during the day. Unless I choose to do that for some reason. But the thing is I can't really stream like I'd want to, because for the other project I have to have Drauken around, and that really sucks actually, because I'd like to do it during the day so I can just sort of get through it. But hey, that's how it plays out. See, my poker nights are back on Wednesdays, so things are looking a little better. They are. We're getting a bit more back to how things were a year and a half ago, which is good. That's why the poker discussion on my Discord is now back in play. Where I talk about the poker stuff that I do, which is cool. So yeah, that's really it for the personal stuff. Kind of things are steady. You could just say in general, things are just generally quite steady. So the next thing I want to talk about is sort of my ongoing plan for the summer in terms of streaming content. It has changed a little bit actually from last time around. I did outline a plan for what was supposed to happen. Quite a few things have changed since then. Obviously, quite a few things have changed since then. So the first thing that has changed is that you'll remember I was getting hyped for a game called In Sound Mind. You heard me talk about that last time. The horror game from the development team of Nightmare House 2 and other stuff. Was supposed to come out on August the 3rd, but it has been delayed to now September the 28th. I only found out about this about a week and a bit ago. So, because my previous plan was I wanted to get Virtue's Last Reward done before August the 3rd so I could play In Sound Mind as soon as possible. Thankfully, I won't have to worry about that now because they've delayed it to nearer to the Halloween period, which makes sense really. It's a horror game. You should try and release it as close to October as you can. So that's good. Really, really good. Especially considering how long Virtue's Last Reward is going to probably take me. Now, I anticipate that it's going to take me the rest of the summer and might actually eat up more time, which is really not great, honestly. And it's why I'm kind of glad we're dropping visual novels from the projects. Because it's a fun game, but nobody watches it. So I'm essentially streaming a game that only myself and about 3 other people enjoy, which is fine. But it's, as I said, it's disheartening when as a streamer you're talking to no one sometimes for half an hour. It's never what you want to be streaming for. You don't live stream to talk to nobody. You live stream to talk to at least one person. If you're not getting that, then you're doing something wrong, or your chat's broke. But yeah, Virtue's Last Reward is a fun little story. I'm enjoying the game, but it is going to take a long time to complete. And the really annoying thing about it is I can't stream it until Drauken's around. And unfortunately, Drauken, the selfish git, won't become unemployed for 4 weeks, so I can stream it in the day and get it over with. He chooses to have a job, so unfortunately that means I have to stream it at night when he's around, which is fair. It is one of the things he was looking forward to seeing. I don't want to deny him that, since he requested and gifted it to me. That's his right, of course. But it does mean that because the game is longer, it's definitely going to be longer than 999 because it's just so much stuff and it's so long. I mean, we're up to like 7 parts now, and I've only got one ending, whereas the entirety of 999 took about 9 parts, I think, to complete for all 6 endings, and there's 9 endings and a lot more stuff to go through, and it seems to be a bit more complicated than 999 by a factor of 2. So I anticipate I'm going to spend the rest of the summer playing it, and probably maybe a good chunk of September, but it will get done. I am determined to sort of get it done as soon as I can. I'm going to try and commit extra hours to it when I can, really push the stream length a little bit just so that it gets completed, because I'm aware it's kind of like something that not a lot of you would care for. I respect that. That's why I want to get through it at a good pace so I can play the stuff you do want to see, which is everything else, more or less. But yeah, I know I had plans for playing like Dragon Quest Heroes and Final Fantasy 9. That's gonna have to be put on hold for a bit. I'll get around to those another time, whenever, really. So yeah, it's gonna be a while before I play another game, basically, because of the new system I'm using as well when I alternate between other game and Doom stuff. So it's gonna take even longer unless I just choose to go all in on the Virtue's Last Reward until it's finished. But But I said I wouldn't do that anymore. So yeah, I am also considering a one night poker stream as well, where I play some live poker on PokerStars. I think there was a little bit of interest to see that at least once. I just need to pick an evening to do it. I'm still considering that. I haven't forgot about it at all. So do not worry. I will still be doing a poker live stream at some point. So that should be good. Because obviously I'm getting back into it now and I need to have some live cash money game experience. It'd be nice to experiment for one night just to see if people care for the poker stuff, and who knows, if people do, maybe I would do it a few more times. But gotta try it once and see how it goes, kind of thing, Should be interesting, hopefully. Just need to choose. I will definitely pick a night during the rest of summer. Got a whole month to sort of pick an evening and go, this will be the poker night, and then I'll play. So that's going to be part of the plan for summer. But otherwise, it's going to be, the usual play testing stream, Iron Man stream, Doom WODs and Doom Quest List stuff, the usual stuff. But mainly, it's just going to be about trying to get Virtue's Last Reward done as fast as possible. It sounds like I'm rushing through the game, and I'm not really. I am enjoying the story, but I'm aware I do want to get through it at a good pace too. So but it is fun. So that's currently the summer plan at the moment, is to do all that stuff. So I in that regard, I am really glad that In Sound Mind was delayed to September, late September at that. That gives me plenty of time to really make sure that I'm not playing another game by that point, because I have a scary feeling I'm going to be playing Virtue's Last Reward until into September. Hopefully not too close to that date. If that's the case, then once I finish that, I'll probably not play another game for a bit until October. And then October, I need to plan some spooky stuff too. Gotta start thinking next month to plan the spooky stuff. Horror games, horror awards, etc., stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be a busy autumn, and then there could be a few games coming out. Maybe Wrath comes out with early access, and I can finally play that. It'd be nice to see some of these early access games finally release instead of being version 0. What the fuck ever. I think it'd be nice. Need to shave my beard, that's for sure. God, this beard looks a bit well. It's a fur thick beard, but I think I need to give it a bit of a shave, and I will be doing in the next few days. Obviously, I'm not going to bring this to my friend's wedding, of course. Not going to be having any of that. So yeah, that's the summer plan at the moment. Geez, chat is very quiet. I think I perhaps should have waited another hour before doing this sweet state. I thought I'd do this a bit early so that the people who normally can't watch stuff at the time I usually stream would have an opportunity to participate, but it's dead quiet. I guess I did it too early, perhaps. Maybe I should have waited another hour or something. Or whatever. I've just got Evil Foamy who's just trying to get me back into Final Fantasy 14 over here. You know? I've got Evil Foamy. Come play Final Fantasy 14 with us, John. Come play Final Fantasy 14 and join the millions who are playing it right now. Nah, I just want you to experience the story. Just want you to experience the story. There's probably a YouTube video I could watch that's like 20 hours that has all the stories cutscenes, and I could just do it that way and skip the grind. Oh man, I tell you one thing though, if I ever win the lottery, somehow, first of all I'd have to actually play the lottery, which I don't do anymore because I stopped throwing away £2. Although but that's a lie. If it's like a big jackpot, I do put some money in just every now and then, but I don't really play regularly. Well, I would seriously consider doing like a Final Fantasy 14 stream playthrough or something like that. That because then I'd have all the time in the world, and then I'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a Final Fantasy 14 story stream playthrough, because unlike say RuneScape, which takes years to get somewhere and there's a lot of grind, you could sort of progress. There's sort of a flat progression with Final Fantasy 14, a game like that, so it would be more possible, but you can watch a video but you miss out on emotional investment on the characters. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was invested enough, but you know, I don't have the time. It's as simple as that. I have enough. I just don't have the time. I really just don't. You know, between streaming and my job, I really just don't have enough time, which is fine. It's not a problem. If I wasn't streaming, I tell you now, if I wasn't streaming, if I just decided not to stream at all, I probably would play Final Fantasy 14. But that's if I'm not streaming. You know, if I decide, nah, I'm just not going to stream. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to bother anymore. Can't be arsed. I'm fed up with all of you. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go back to how I was in 2008, where I just played MMOs all day and didn't bother with anyone. You know, I joined random Ventrilos and talked to people for a few weeks. Well, actually, I never really did that, but there was a clan I used to be part of in a few games. But that was way, 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 way back. And I haven't heard anything from them for a decade. I sort of never bothered keeping in touch with them. But that's how I used to be, like 2000 and maybe like between 2005, 2004 to like 2009, before I became a streamer. I would just jump from MMO to MMO. That's all I'd play. Like, I massively got into the idea of online games, because up to that I had dial-up and I didn't really go on the internet much. I didn't really bother. You know, I just played on consoles and PS2s. Online for me was like this way off sort of thing, you know. Like, I had very limited experience on the internet at school, but I never really thought about, I can play it at home, I can play games. You know, I'd never heard of EverQuest or Ultimate Online until way past the sort of peak, you know. And for years I just played MMOs all the time. You know, I jump around between so many, like 2D ones. You know, I played MapleStory for a bit, RuneScape for a bit. I'm pretty sure I played one once for about an hour called Zebra Online, which was some weird grid-based thing which I tried. I basically just scout MMORPGs on the MMORPG.com and just pick out a new one every other week. Silk Road Online. Silk Road fucking Online. Jesus, that was a fucking game in terms of progression. The one based on the actual historical Silk Road trade route in China. And you had the 3 different classes you could play as. You could be a trader, you could be I think they're called protectors or something, and then you could be a villain. And it was based on this triangle of traders trade between cities, villains try to loot them, and protectors try to guard. And maybe sometimes not, it depends. But the main thing I remember about Silk Road Online was that it was very grindy, and they made no bones about it very early on. Like, you would be killing quite a few creatures, and I distinctly remember this to this day. I think you get to about level 20 or something. You get to about level 20, and I think you have to go to this sort of open sand area or water, swampy area. And you start with Final Fantasy 11 and 14, Playground as primary version, in your opinion. Vanilla WoW was pretty good. I liked Vanilla WoW. And I played on the PvP servers on Undead Rogue. I loved it. The Rogue class was fun to play, still is. Still love it. But you get bored of it. I got bored of it, I guess. But I remember, you imagine, you're about level 20. You're level 20. 20 is not a big level in Silk Road Online. I think the max level is 100 plus or whatever. So you're at level 20 and you're starting to go to this big city place, right? And one of the quests asks you to kill, some lizard creatures or some swamp monsters or whatever. Now, you'd imagine you're about level 20, what would you expect to be, the amount you'd have to kill? The amount of monsters you'd have to kill at about, say, the low-end levels of an MMO. I'm about level 20-ish. The max level's 100 plus. You're still at the early stages. I think you'd say about 10-ish, yeah. You'd reasonably say about 10, maybe 20. Depends on the monster. Sometimes if there's a bit of a setup or it's easy to kill stuff, maybe they'd ask you to kill 30, 40. Try a fucking 1,000. I am not joking. They asked you to kill 1,000 enemies. 1,000 enemies. No joke. And the thing is, they did die easily, but they were spread out. So you would have to spend maybe an hour in this little patch pinging that creature. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. For ages. And you'd have to kill 1,000 of them. And I got through it. I just sat there and just started tapping away. Killing 1,000 enemies. A fucking 1,000. It was insane. They'd asked you to kill 100 or maybe 150. And to be fair, sometimes you killed them relatively quick-ish, but it still took a while. It wasn't super fast. But then it was here's 1,000. Go kill 1,000 enemies. All single, not grouped up either. All singly spread out. Go kill 1,000 enemies. And then you can advance to level 21 or something. And even then, you'd do that quest, and then you'd still have to kill more anyway, because you didn't level up. And that's how some MMOs were like back then. You would barely get enough quest XP to level up to the next level bracket. And then you'd have to grind more. So you'd kill 1,000, and you'd probably have to kill about another 1,000 to level up so you could get more quests. That was the thing that MMOs WoW back in the day sort of did things right. You never were at a point where you were grinding mobs to level up, really. Or not for very long periods of time, anyway. Because you had dungeon options, Oh, the quests have run out and you need to level up to go to a quest. Well, you've got a dungeon to run. You know, you can go in a dungeon, you can go play the dungeon, run some loot, and you'll level up easy. Whereas I played a lot of MMOs back in the day where like you'd do some quests and you wouldn't get enough, so you have to go and grind. Oh, you've successfully done this one quest. Now spend the rest of the 80% of the level killing shit over and over again until you can level up so you can do another quest, which also will not give you enough experience to level up, and you'll have to do it again. Yeah, that was like the normal thing for a while. Or just pay $20 and max out your character. Hey, Corn King. WoW changed that, but it created one of the worst entire communities. Well, perhaps in the long run, but vanilla WoW was great. Back in the day, at least. It changed eventually, but it took a while at least. Yeah, you can just pay $20 nowadays and just max out your character. And apparently they even allowed that for the Burning Crusade Classic, which means it's not really that classic anymore, is it? When you can just skip the entire grind and just go straight to level 70. What's this during the transaction? You skip so many dungeons and people to meet for the raid. Drop another $60. Let's get you geared up, bad boy! Yeah, and some people will play a game like that. They'll just literally skip the entire level grind. Like, alright, I want to play the dungeons now. I remember that being a problem in, I remember there was an old Preach video. I used to watch a couple of Preach videos, even though I never played World of Warcraft, but I used to watch a couple of his videos, and I just didn't remember him having a problem during the one of the other expansions of WoW, where he complained about how there was a max level, well, not a max level, but like you could go to the max level of the current expansion, which was designed to let people skip the grind into the new expansion, and they offered it before the new expansion was released, so that people could be like level 90 immediately, but without any experience of the character. And then he was talking about, wow, he can't run dungeons anymore because people don't know what they're doing, because people are just skipping experience to just go like, oh, I'm just going to hit level 90 and then I can go raid dungeons at the end game with my friends. And it's like, no, you're not learning how the mechanics work. You just want to try a new class and not learn anything. Idiots just made WoW. Yeah, they did, and I'm not really surprised that they didn't keep the classic in classic for very long. And you know what's the funny part about Burning Crusade in its first week of release? I'm waiting for a punchline here, I'm sure. I mean, I've played the Burning Crusade, but I never played it like on that sort of launch day. I played it for a bit. It's a cool area. Well, this is long after the launch. Skip potions are the worst thing, yeah. Like, skip the entire experience. And the thing is that you could say, well, it's a player's choice, but the thing is that then you have to be directly involved later down the line with those people. You know, you've earned your path, and now you gotta play with players who don't know what they're doing because they just skipped everything. They were about none of the players in Stoningers. Everyone boosted themselves to the outworld. But so no one went through the fucking giant gate to that big area where you see the Legion clashing with the Allies and Horde. We don't split through the portals and you start on different sides of this massive hellscape. And you gotta be careful of these level 70 giants, and the Alliance and Horde have to quest in each other's areas a bit, and you sort of fight a little bit sometimes. Because I remember that being pretty cool, you know, as a level 60 player, going to that area and seeing this cool, decrepit landscape. It was a pretty awe-inspiring first area. A bit difficult, but it was fun. But everyone just skipped that and just said, nah, let's just get to level 70. Let's just go fight Illidan. That you can't, because you have to go for the TBC unlock attunement process, which is ridiculously long. But it doesn't matter now because Activision Blizzard are fucking trash and no one should be buying any of their games anyway. They've even screwed up the And I'm not going to talk about that because that's everyone else's job. But it's complete garbage now. I'm so glad I got out when I did. You know, I enjoyed WoW Classic. Not gonna lie, I did, but I'm glad I don't play it anymore. I'm not gonna give a single penny to them, just like I'm not gonna give a single penny to EA or Ubisoft. Nah, we should have made a new WoW by now, but too late for that. Well, we don't need to. Evil follow me. Why would they need to make a new World of Warcraft? Enough people play WoW. They don't need to. There's no point. You know, it's like asking Valve to make a new game. They're not going to do that. No, Half-Life Alyx doesn't count because it's just a VR expansion. It's not a new game, really. It's just a expansion that they cobbled together in 2 months. They needed Warcraft 4. Oh, they gave you the... Well, perhaps it does, but it's not really a new game. Well, I suppose it is, but it's essentially done for a VR push. But whatever. Summit. Does expand the Steam going for a while. No, they're not going to do that anymore, Corn King. If things go badly, they're not going to be in business by the end of the year. They're going to be dead. Good riddance. I can tell you this, I'm glad for everything which is unraveling for Blizzard right now. Well, you know, although it's a bit of a long shot, obviously, this might be the beginning of the great change that the gaming industry needs. But I won't hold my breath. I really wouldn't. They'll probably settle out of court and for a lot of cash, and they'll probably go back to normal. You know, and they'll probably have lost a lot of people, but they'll probably steady themselves, and we'll be right back where we were. I mean, it'd be nice, you know, if it was the beginning of a big change, because, you know, it shouldn't just end with Blizzard. It should be done with EA, it should be done with Ubisoft, it should be done with fucking Bethesda. So many companies that need to be properly and thoroughly, and Rockstar and Take-Two and Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo. So many scummy game companies out there that need to be properly exposed, and, you know, but people are still going to buy their products. Overwatch 2 is still going to sell 1 million copies plus because people don't care. Well, I'll see it when I believe it, is all I can say. I'll see it on the day that Activision Blizzard don't exist. You know, I'll see it on the day that EA don't exist, and Ubisoft don't exist, and Bethesda don't exist. And they all fucking die off. By being more of the same. Which is what will happen. They'll probably, I reckon with all of this, they'll probably just go back to normal after a while. Games in general are getting too expensive. Well, they are. But people will still buy them. That's the thing, Evil Follow Me. The only time it will make a change is if when the mass herd mentality of people stop buying the games. When they start unsubscribing from the games. When they stop playing them. Period. Then, and only then, will there be change. Because then they won't be able to, you know, they won't be able to rely on a market that doesn't care about all this stuff. Well, that's their business, and they can say whatever they want, but it's not going to change anything. You know, I'll believe it when I see it, when they actually change, and the only way for it to change is to them to collapse and disappear into the ether. But it'll be the same, you know. They'll probably make a few changes. They'll lose a bit of things, but they'll settle out of court or something. They'll make some financial deal, and then they'll go right back to normal. And in a few months, Overwatch 2 will release, and people will buy it in droves, and they'll make shitloads of money, and then they'll be right back where we were. you know. But nothing will change. They'll still have World of Warcraft to fall on. They'll still have Overwatch 2 that people will play. They'll still have a niche community playing Brood War and StarCraft 2. Oh no, you can't spit at people? Oh man. Crisis over. I'm surprised that wasn't done a long time ago, to be honest. Yes, getting rid of gambling mechanics would help. Definitely. You know, get rid of all this. Find the UK would actually ban them. Well, the UK has a fairly large game industry. It's not going to change anytime soon. Really. You'll need a lot of pushback. And, well, it's not going to happen. That's what it comes down to, you know. The people who actually care about this kind of stuff, like us, the so-called, although it's not a tag we all adopt, the so-called gamers, you know, the people who actually care about the hobby a little bit, they aren't the ones that are going to really make the changes. It's when you have all these people who buy the latest games without question. When they start questioning in it, then you've made some change. When they think, hang on a second, Overwatch 2, wasn't that game by that company who were a bunch of assholes? Maybe I won't buy this game. Maybe I'll go do something else. Company doesn't change and the feedback's unimportant to the point until the investor's revenues in fact. Yeah, that's all it comes down to, you know. Want to make change? Threaten the advertisers. Want to make change? Threaten the investors. There's enough medical information to make the ban happen though. Yeah, but they won't do it because no one cares enough. You know, there'll be people out there who will defend it. They'll think it's fine to have loot boxes and shitty practices like that. But yeah, it all comes down to money. You know, you threaten the money stream and suddenly they'll do things. It's amazing how it happens, really. You threaten the advertisers and the revenue stream, and people get a bit nervous and suddenly, oh crap, we better do something now. That's all you have to do, you know. So if you want to make a difference, stop wasting time and go after the investors. Go after the advertisers. Say, hey, are you happy advertising this company? They're a bit shitty and their PR's all over the place. Maybe you should rethink it. You know? Yeah, marketing. Yeah, there you go. That'll do it. That'll absolutely do it. Lose 8 billion in share value. There you go. Shareholders panicking. Now there'll be change. Because the share value has plummeted off a cliff. Bobby Kotick's super duper retirement fund will be in threat. I mean, he'll be fine. He's got enough money probably hoarded away, but the shareholders will be panicking. And now there'll be change. They'll be panicking. But that's the only reason why. It's not because they're morally give a damn. It's because the money's at threat. So, no, he needs to be shot out of a cannon. A circus or something. For our amusement. So, until that changes, there'll be nothing, you know. All this is just nothing. I will believe it when I see Activision Blizzard announce bankruptcy and fuck off. And disappear and take a few other scummy companies with them. In modern day, video game industries are game of businesses being treated like one and we're but potential customers. I wouldn't even say customers, Corn King. Customers implies that you are individual and that you call it more consumers. Because that's a more apt word, honestly. Consumers, you know. Buy product and consume product and then get excited for next product. Because customers implies a level of respect. Consumers are just mindless people who consume shit. And that's what they probably treat a lot of people as. You know, mindless hordes that will buy the next Overwatch 2, will buy the next expansion, will buy the next HD remake, because it's based on that game that some people used to love a while back. We don't care the quality. Ugh. So You know, this is why the video game market is so overdue for a fucking massive shake-up like this. But I don't think it's coming. We're just going to see Activision Blizz buy their way out of a bad situation, and in a few months' time, we'll go back to normal, and all the journalists will talk about Overwatch 2 getting 10 out of 10, and that'll be it. We're being looked at as potential whales who's watched. Yeah, exactly. You're just whales. You know what I would see as a difference? If Overwatch 2 released and no one gave it a good review, and it was actually one of the biggest flops of all time. That would be a sign of something. If Overwatch 2 failed so badly, they pulled it after a few months or something. That would be a sign of something changing. But it's not going to happen. It's gonna sell millions of copies, and they're going to make a lot of money, and that's it. So whatever. Enjoy the drop. Excuse me. Enjoy the drama. Enjoy the fireworks, but don't expect any change because it ain't coming. You know, until we start seeing actual big changes, nothing will change. So don't expect it. There's literally nothing to review in that game. If you see the gameplay, it's literally more of the same. Definitely don't change it. Well, I don't care. I'm not going to play it. I'm not interested. I just want all these early access games to stop being early access and release full versions so I can start playing them. I've got a gold mine of old school FPS games and stuff to satisfy me for the end of time. My time anyway, which is probably about 70 years. Which means I'm already halfway through. It's a bit worrying. Maybe I'll get another 10. We'll see. Like if it'll pop off, another way to triple S covers doing some shit. Well, we'll see. We will see. We will see. But I don't really have any hopes about this whole thing. I just expect it to go back to normal by the end of the summer, and we'll all be like, well, there's another lawsuit that got bought out or whatever, and now we're back to normal for another few weeks. But we'll see. Anything could happen, I guess. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. That's for sure. Wow, we got off topic there a little bit. Well, that's fine, you know. The sweet states are open to have tangents as such, where we can rant about a few things. Which is part of the fun, right? It's part of the fun. So, I suppose the next thing I'm going to sort of talk about. God, I'm sort of pushing this point into way down now. There's so much to it, yeah. I'm not really. We'll see. So, the next thing to sort of mention about my channel, which is about. It's been a month now since I started implementing the playing other games to Doom stuff ratio. You know, you remember that last month I said that with the other games, particularly the visual novels and the stuff that isn't getting as much audience retainment or whatever, that I would start playing, and for longer projects, of course, that take ages, I would start playing alternating between the other game and the Doom stuff. So it's like not too much of one or the other, so it's kind of like a healthy balance of both. So it's been a month now. And obviously I've been doing that for July, around Virtue's Last Reward, where I've been playing it for a little bit, then popping back into some Doom stuff, and then so forth and so forth. So how do you feel about this sort of different approach to... It's only a month thing, granted, and it's not been massively consistent, but in the early going, how do you all feel about this sort of playing other game and Doom thing on and off between them both, you know, especially since Virtue's Last Reward is a long visual novel game, but only a few of you watch, and the Doom stuff is obviously the most watched thing on this channel. I'm wondering how people feel about the difference, because I used to just focus on one thing then the other. So, you know, And this way, the idea was so that people would have a bit of something to watch instead of it just being like, oh, he's just going to play this game for 12 or 13 streams. Guess I'll come back in 2 weeks when he's finished. Works better for you. So you're happy with it, Evil Foamy. I like Doom, that's all I can say. That's not surprising. A lot of people who come to this channel like the Doom and the FPS-y stuff, you know, and the Hexen and Heretic, and anytime I play an FPS, generally people are happy. I'd like to see if people are happy with this system. I'm probably going to keep checking back on this month upon month to see if how people feel about it as it goes on with other games and stuff, you know. Because it is something I haven't done before. It is a bit different when it's like you can't get settled into what the streamer's going to play. You're going to see him play this game, and then they're going to switch to the other game, and they're going to go back and forth. That's how I used to do it. So I don't know if it affects people watching the streams or whatever. I'm just curious is all. Just genuinely quite curious. But you know, I feel like I'd perhaps have a bit more feedback on this if I'd asked this like at a night, maybe. But I probably will ask this again a few more times in the future anyway. It's a bit early to sort of properly gauge it, but it sounds like from the two people in the chat at the moment, you both like the change. Generally, you're happy with it. You know, you like the generally it's just biased opinion for me, but most of the Eastern culture video games are sleep mode for you. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna make a note here. Actually, we'll be checking. I'm gonna make a quick note there. I will perhaps check back on that at a busier time and see if if I pull out Fortnite. Yeah, boy. Now I'm not gonna play Fortnite. I tried Fortnite once, and actually, that was an interesting thing that happened last night. I only come on for Doom and other FPS stuff. I'm waiting for Thief 3. You'll be waiting a while. I may never play Thief 3, but we'll see. So I raided Pineapple last night, who was playing Fortnite for the first time after my stream of Brutal Hexen last night. And it was like, okay, I watched it for a little bit. I sort of was like doing other stuff in the background. But she was playing Fortnite for the first time. She was trying it out, you know. And apparently, Pineapple won like 3 games in a row, even though she just started out. But what she noticed was that she was playing against really bad opponents. Like, sorry, I don't know what's up there. She was playing against really bad opponents and stuff. And it turns out that she may have been playing against bots. Really bad bots or something. And she was noticing, I didn't observe this directly, but she was commenting like, wow, I've won 3 times in a row. But the players seem to be really bad at the game or something, or whatever. And apparently it's a thing in Fortnite that when you start out as a new player, they place you with bots so you can get a few wins to get you hooked on the game or something like that. And I had heard about that. They do use a couple of bots apparently, like really easy bots, so you can like get a few wins to start you when you first start out or something. Like she was noting that I didn't watch this. I was just going off what she was saying, especially in her own Discord afterwards. But she was playing against really terrible opponents, and later on she did actually fight some human opponents, and she died. She did quite well, but it seemed like she was for the first few games. I mean, she won 3 times in a row as a new player to Fortnite, no less. 3 times in a row. That's very suspect to me. I mean, I played Fortnite, I didn't win once. When I started out, I got my ass kicked pretty hard. And I think I got a second place once, but I lost to a player who was obviously a human building a tower and a half. But she noted that it was like she was playing against bots for a bit, and then she eventually was given human players to play against, and then things were a bit more normal. Try out to the worst. But that I won't be. Would you really be surprised? I won't be surprised if Fortnite pulled something like that. Get people hooked in early and then just sort of take away the safety net so that people get like, oh yay, I've won 3 games in a row. Woo. I guess I'll drop $30 on V-Bucks so I can get new skins, and the social media hub is designed to be a absolute, essentially a microtransaction time sink for kids. Well, it is. Fortnite's evolved from just being a BR game to being a media hub. And now it's designed to change all the time and get people to... Well, it is, Imagine you playing that for the first time and you suddenly win a game. You win 2 games in a row. It's like, wow, I'm pretty good at this. I'm going to play more. And then you get your ass kicked by a real player. It's like, oh, well, I guess I better keep playing and practicing. I've won twice in a row. Like, that's disgusting. Actually playing against bots to start with. When they're not strictly advertised as bots as such. That's like disgusting. Horribly practice that. To get people to buy you shitty V-Bucks. Disgraceful. It'd be fine if it was a game mode or something, like you practice against the bots a bit and then you play against humans, but it's like, no, you're playing against humans, we swear, you don't mind the fact that they're really stupid and just stand there and go, duh, we're just whales. Oh, here, take my money, take my... And in the case of the little kids playing Fortnite, take my mum and dad's money. Mom, Dad, I need more V-Bucks. Yeah, I've watched it. The Tours thingy Icelandic company where they talk about mobile phone games. And they say they go pretty much into the strategy of how to market for whales. And it is. They just want to get people gambling. They want to get people on microtransactions. They want to get people on gambling. Fortnite is essentially just a giant introduction for kids to buy virtual currency to get skins from multimedia products. And all these media companies are more than happy to put their IPs into Fortnite so that they can profit off of it. To the part, to where you have weird shit like the first opening extra 2 or 3 minutes of the last Star Wars movie is now in Fortnite exclusive, one time only sort of deal, which gives a bit of context to the beginning of the 9th movie, which was a pile of shit, So for me, the context for Rise of the Skywalker in Fortnite would be a giant pile of shit that players would shoot or something. That will be a good context for episode 9. I've not spent any money in Destiny 2 for their cash shop, but I still suck at the game. Oh no. The same practices are being used in PC games. Well, of course they are. Live services. In the mainstream, and all the mainstream companies, they don't sell games anymore. They sell temporary live services. You have the privilege of accessing them for a couple of years until they pull the servers because they don't make money anymore. And then they can do that. It's like, well, this is a game that doesn't make money anymore. We're not going to maintain it. We're not going to allow community to develop around it. We're not going to have a long-term longevity, and we're not going to patch fix it. We're going to, once the money drives up, we are going to pull the servers and move on to the next one. That is it. It is far more profitable for us. We don't have to maintain the previous community. If some diehard fans want to resurrect or backsource the servers, that's on them. We don't give a shit. We're moving on to the next thing. You gutted EA got the F1 franchise. I'm surprised the F1 franchise still exists. F1 is fucking boring and terrible. They should have a draft system in F1 where all the good drivers have to actually race shittier cars so that they can be exposed for what they are. Good drivers who can't do shit because their car's not good anymore. Man. Hey, Lewis Hamilton, mister, I'm going to shout from the rooftops about all this shit while being at the top of the fucking food chain. Go drive the worst company. Go drive in a car that finishes bottom. Get them to first place. And then you'll miraculously find that he can't. Because the cars suck. You could probably swap Lewis Hamilton and the person who finishes last into each other's cars, and the results would be drastically different for both drivers. Suddenly this rookie would be like getting third place or something, and Lewis Hamilton would be like last because the car would change. Yeah, well, he's still got the best company to win all the shit. Not exactly stopped him from being winning and doing shit, is it? You know, it's nice to have a draft system. Get them to drive the shitty cars. Get them to drive the cars at the bottom of the pile. Put them in different companies for a year. See how they do. It'd be fascinating to start. That would be genuinely quite interesting to see. You know, fuck all these. Well, if he's really that good, Evil Foamy, then in theory, Lewis Hamilton should get out the Mercedes car, go drive for the car that finishes last every race, and still win, right? If he's that good, the car shouldn't matter. Period. He should be able to drive. I don't know who the hell finishes. Let me just have a look. Let me just check the. I don't really give a fuck, but let's just take a random example here. Whatever, fuck off thing. Okay, what was the recent race? Oh, Hungary. Oh, Hungary's this. Well, Hungary's whatever. Alright, let's just take a look at the Hungary. Alright, who finished like last? Let's see. Let's have a look here. Who do we have? Okay, so the person who finished 14th, there's like a couple that didn't finish because they were disqualified or whatever. But there was some guy that finished like one lap ahead in an Alfa Romeo. You know, two people in Alfa Romeos who were like 11th and 14th or whatever. Alright. And I don't think they ever get anywhere, but I don't really know, so I don't really watch F1 because F1's boring. Alright. Put Lewis Hamilton in an Alfa Romeo. See how he does. In theory, if he's really good, he should be able to win anyway, because the car makes no difference, right? If he really is this superstar, then he can put him in any car and he'll win. Because he'll be able to overcome the technical differences, right? That would be interesting. You know, take them away from their comfort zone of their preferred manufacturer and put all these drivers in different vehicles. And see how they do for a season. You know, put a draft system in place. Have them rotate around. See how they do. And then if he still finishes top of the pile, then yeah, great. You know, then you can say that, you know, car regardless. No, just put them in different cars. You know, the idea of it is supposed to be competitive. Well, yeah, the same car spec could be good. But the idea is to show off the manufacturing differences. That's why you have the Constructors' Championships. And so forth, you know. You could do something like that, but I think a draft system would be fascinating. But anyway, that's me looking from the outside. I don't give a shit about F1. F1 was good in the 90s, and it's not been good for years. I don't care for it. So, whatever. There's no such thing as a game and a player anymore. Agree with that. You disagree. Well, fuck you, Evil Foamy. You go back to work. Go on. Go to work. Do your job. Do whatever it is that you do. Work. Now. It's lunchtime. Well, fine. Eat your lunch in silence. Yes. Lucky you, it's your lunchtime. Enjoy your lunch break. At home! Does that not feel a bit strange that you have a lunch break at home? Or you're probably used to it by now, actually, aren't you? You know? Like, oh man, lunch break, I can go to the kitchen. It's not like you go to a staff room, you go to your kitchen. You know? This is what you're choosing to do on your lunch break. You're watching some guy ranting about F1 who doesn't really care for F1 anymore. This is what you're choosing to do, Evil Foamy, you know? A guy with 4 viewers. Fucking hell, I really should have done this an hour later, shouldn't I? Oh well. Oh, that's annoying me. I have some point I want to make, but there's no one around to talk about it. Oh, I should have done this fucking later. Perhaps. But I wanted to do it while... Nah, it's fine, whatever. You know, it's mainly designed just to get people up to speed with a few thoughts. It doesn't matter if there's not a massive amount of people, I guess. Yeah. So... What else have I got in here? Oh, yes. My other game list is probably not going to be completed till 2022 now. I think that's a minor point, really. I had a rough ambition that my other game list would be completed by the end of this year, but that's not going to happen now. So it'll probably be next year when I finally get that other game list rattled off. For once, it's easier for you to switch off, relax, de-stress, hell, even go out and do a spot of painting. You get more life stuff done. Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's not like you got like a limited time period at work and you have to go to a place. It's like, okay, you've got an hour. You need to get out of the office and go to the place away from work. Obviously, I want to get away from work at my lunch. I get off an hour. And we used to go in the staff room. We can't do that. I just go to my car. You know, I want to get away from the workplace for like 20 minutes. And it takes me a few minutes to travel between my car and back. So I effectively get about 20 minutes to relax. But yeah, it's a bit easier when you're at home and you just go, oh man, I'm on a lunch break. I'm just going to go. I'll be right back. Oh, and I'm back. That was a good lunch break. You know, that kind of thing. And I suppose if you're a full-time live streamer, you eat your lunch on stream and talk about and watch videos and stuff while you're eating whatever, right? Yeah. So, yeah, basically my other game list is going to be done next year, hopefully. That's all I have to say about that. You know, I've still got so many games to get through, and it's going to take a long time to get through them. So that's the way, especially now I have this alternating system in place, you know, I can't just entirely focus on a game a chunk of the time, so it's going to take a bit longer. But that's fine, I'll get through them eventually. I got time. All the time in the world, you know, all the time in the world. Why not? I've only got 2 more points to make, really. So, another point that I wanted to make, before I go on to the next one, this is kind of like a vague sort of hunch that I have based on a very rudimentary understanding of a few metrics that I sort of roughly keep tally of. But I have this general feeling at the moment that this channel, this John Suitepee Enterprise, this ambitious corporate business that will one day rival Amazon, or someone who's called Amazon at least. I have a feeling that right now my channel is kind of sort of in a slight rut at this point in terms of growth, if you will, a little bit. That is a genuine rival ninja. No, I don't think so. I can't be as cringy. Well, I mean, I can sometimes, but anyway. I generally feel that at the moment, in the last few maybe weeks, maybe months even, it feels like this channel is in a slight rut for some reason. That's the kind of impression I get. In general, I mean, obviously I've been doing this since 2013, so 8 years. Well, wait. Well, on Twitch anyway, it will be now 8 years. I've been doing this, and obviously there's been some nice developments along the way. It just feels like for some reason, and maybe particularly after what happened in February, that the channel it's hard to explain, because I don't know if I necessarily have any statistical evidence, but it just feels like at the moment the channel is kind of in this very small rut at the moment, where the growth is kind of slow-ish to some extent. Well, according to my social blade, I'm still gradually, very, very slowly gaining followers, and video views or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I just seem to recall that prior to February, I distinctly remember saying a few times on stream, how I've got the 2,000 follower incentive for playing New Sunder and such, Now, you remember that's an incentive that I have. Right, if I hit 2,000 followers, I will play at least one New Sunder map to completion. Return to Sunder basically, and play at least one map. That's like the incentive that a lot of people wanted to see at the time. I don't know if that's changed at all since, but that was the incentive I've still got going. And I seem to recall in a few streams back, like, late last year, or maybe at the start of this year, I was like, oh man, it's only a matter of time, a few months maybe, before I hit 2K in terms of the followers. I really wish I could actually, I wonder if I can actually scroll back for go back to that period. Really sort of I'm sure I could kind of check this for long-term stuff. Sorry, I'm just sort of getting used to this page. I'm trying to figure out how to oh god, there's a lot of stuff there. Bear with me, sorry everyone, I'm sort of faffing around a bit here to try and find something. Well, I want to go back in like, I don't want to go back to like 30. I want to like wow, okay, you know what, I might actually be wrong on my thought here a little bit. Well, no, I don't, as I say that, like, I had a You know what? I might actually be slightly wrong here, actually, with my calculation. Looking over his stats a little bit. It does seem to I'm sure there was something else though. No, actually. Well, no, actually, no. That's no. Hold on. No. Sorry, I'm just checking something here, if I may. Okay, sorry. I'm not explaining myself very well. I am sort of going over this. As I said, my feeling is sort of this sort of general like COVID effect. Twitch is like any other social thing. People with the personality get the people, but you know you need to stream games you want to watch. I get 0 views most of the time when I stream, so I give up caring about having a community. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think it's that though. I mean, statistically wise, I'm still very, very slowly growing. I think what I'm trying to say, I think if the stats bear out, is it feels like my growth has slowed down a bit, but is still going slightly upwards a little bit. I really would like to get some stats of like, I guess I'm getting them as best as I can, but it feels like. And here we're sort of delving into like metrics and stuff I'm trying to remember, and I don't know if it's entirely blurred out or whatever. But to sort of openly go through my rough thought process, if you will. It feels like in the past, when, for example, I streamed Doom stuff, I would get an average of about, in the past, I say, before February this year, I would get an average of about maybe 30 plus people a stream on average. Yeah, 30 to 40. That's sort of been my distinct kind of average-ish that I've had for a long time, and I know I don't massively obsess over these things, but I do, as I said, I do pay heed to some of them. You gotta have some kind of barometer for growth, and obviously I am trying to very slowly grow the channel, which does seem to still be happening still. But it feels like prior to February. No, I don't think that's the thing, Corn King. It feels like before like the February thing happened, and I had to change a few things on the channel, and all the drama shit happened, ish. I was getting about 30 to 40 average on a Doom stream, the most popular stream on this channel. And now it feels like, even when I'm playing a Doom thing as of late, I don't get that anymore. Like, in the last couple of sort of Doomy type streams, I am sometimes lucky to get 30 viewers. I still get like a decent sort of audience, but you were playing Doom constantly at that time. Yeah, mate, well, no, I mean, in the last year or so, I was still alternating between playing other games and playing Doom and stuff. I wasn't exactly just playing Doom massively. I was playing other games, and I was going back to Doom and, playing like you see me play all of the games. And that's why I was sort of intrigued about asking, oh, what's this? I got a message from, it's just an announcement from, okay, that's interesting. Dying Camel is announcing some big changes apparently in his stream. I may have to check that out after, see what he's got in mind. It's today's stream day, every day 300, and there will be a lot of big changes. My stream will never be the same again. You have been warned. Okay, Dying Camel is changing some stuff. Yeah, apparently Dying Camel is announcing some changes and stuff like that. And it says Dying Camel. I guess he's got some plans and stuff. We'll host him after, and we'll see what they are. But anyway, that's why I was asking about the alternating between the other game and Doom stuff. Right? I get your point, Evil Film. Obviously, if I play Doom regularly, but it's kind of, I enjoyed Discord until we successfully forced him to announce Dying Camel's Demons 4. I still haven't played the third one of that. But it feels like I've had a few less people watch my Doom stuff. I mean, I could be wrong. It's still a good audience. I still get to 30 occasionally. It just feels like there's a slight drop off of a few people, maybe. I still get the business. I still get the audience. But it feels like, compared to hitting 30, 40 average, now sometimes I'm like maybe upper 20s and 30. Like a slight tapering off. I mean, viewers come and go. Yes, that's true. They do. It just, I mean, I'm still gaining, the followers are getting a bit slower as well. I mean, it's not a massive big deal, but, I am aware that, I used to remember that Doom streams would usually get me, like, 1 or 2 followers every time in the past. I'd stream Doom and someone would follow the channel. And now it's, hey, Neox. Mole Mania stream to diversify and gain more. Neox, welcome, but I told you about this, Neox. I'm going to play Mole Mania one day. It will happen. You've already ensured that. But you'll have to wait until all the other games are done first, and then you'll get your Mole Mania. And he's back again. I know the whole story behind Neox now, but I don't really want to tell it, because I've actually spoken to him. So I know his deal. I know the crack now, but I don't want to mention it, because it feels like it's breaking the mystique a bit. Maybe even when I stream Mole Mania, you can be on... Maybe if you wanted to, you could be like a co-commentator for that stream. I'd have you on Discord or something. That'd be kind of cool. I have the actual person who's requested Mole Mania be in the stream, chatting away. Okay. Well, we'll have to arrange that in like a year or so. I've still got a long way to go before we play Mole Mania, but it will happen eventually. But, anyway, getting back to the point. It kind of feels like, to put it bluntly, I seem to recall, like, a year ago, if I played a Doom WOD, or a Doom stream, or whatever, I would get about an average of 30 viewers, 30, 40, and every time I streamed, I'd have a new follower, on average. Not all the time, but, like, I'm pretty sure I remember getting regular followers whenever I streamed Doom stuff, Like, it'd always be someone new to go, hey, thanks for following, and so forth, every time I streamed a Doom thing. Sometimes more than one, in some cases. I'd have bursts of, like, sometimes 3 followers, or 5 followers, or whatever. I definitely remember that it was a regular occurrence. If I streamed Doom, I would get 30, 40 people, and I'd probably get a few followers, because people love the Doom shit. And now it feels like when I do the same thing, that doesn't happen anymore. So something has changed between... And I'm pretty convinced it has something to do with what happened in February. In part, at least. I could be wrong, and I have no evidence to base this off, but it just feels like at the moment there's a slight slowing down of growth and shit, That's the general impression I kind of sort of get at the moment. I still really appreciate the fact I have a good audience. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about this. I'm observing it. I mean, the stats seem to show I'm still steadily gaining followers very slightly upwards. And I've still got a good audience. It's just the growth seems to have completely taken a dive. It's still very slightly there, but it's less. Now it feels like according to my future projections for the 2K, I'm going to have to wait until February of next year before I hit that point, based on the current prediction. It's going to take me another 6 months to hit that milestone, whereas it feels like prior to February, I might have hit that by now. I'm pretty sure I seem to remember saying, like, again, feel like based on the sort of the general uptake of new followers that was going to be happening this year. Now it's not. It looks like it's a long way away suddenly, kind of thing. Doom Eternal? Oh, I've played Doom Eternal, and I'm still waiting for the expansions to be cheap. I mean, part of that could be simply the fact that there's a lot more Doom streamers now. You know, there's a lot more choice. You know, when I first started as a Doom streamer, there weren't many options. And for quite a while, that still was the case. But now, dear God, you are spoilt for choice for Doom streamers. Like, Bridgeburner actually has recently hit 1.8k followers, and he's, like, doing all kinds of shit. I think, actually, Bridgeburner is probably going to surpass 2,000 followers before I do at this point. To give you an idea of the growth differences, you know. I have a feeling that Bridgeburner is going to hit 2,000 followers before I do at this point, which is a thing, and you know Bridgeburner deserves that because he works real hard and he's founding an independent studio company and he deserves these kind of things. But his channel is like going whoosh, whoosh, you know. And there's more choice. There really is. There's so many different Doom streamers you can watch now. You don't have to watch me. You could watch, you know, I'm no longer competing with just BZ Plasma and Doom Space Marine and Tawnsman. Now it's like I'm competing with fucking Mr. Zool, STX Vile. I'm competing with fucking speedrunners. Many of them now. Zool, Derek, STX Vile, Coincident. You know. And then you've got like the really sort of super creative types who now also Doom stream. I gotta compete with Jimmy. How the fuck do I compete with Jimmy? You know, Jimmy Paddock, Mr. Guy who's made 1,000 middies and levels and is a really awesome guy. He streams Doom regularly now. You know, there's all kinds of different options for people to spend their Doom time with. You know, you've got like, and then you got like Dietz or Frag TV, Cinder Thief, Ostinado, you know, Francis started this channel, you know, the guy who was, you know, previously quite a strict observer, now he's got a little community, you know. There's so many Doom streamers out there now. There's so many choices for people to spend their time with, you know. Better players, better creative types, you know. And even my USP, that I used to be the playtesting guy, doesn't happen. It's gone. I've lost it. I've lost my unique selling point. I used to be the playtest guy. I used to stream playtest stuff, and I was the only one who bothered regularly. Now, there's several people who playtest. Jimmy playtests. Ostinado playtests, and good for him. You know. But I was here first. You know. I'm just saying there's a lot more competition. Hey, Joe Corp, how you doing? There's so many, there's much more choice, and this happens in all kinds of things, you know. I was never going to be just one of the first for long. There was always going to be more expansion of more streamers, and, you know, I've encouraged a few of them. You know. I just feel like that's part of the reason maybe why I feel that the channel's slightly in a rut, because, you know, I've been here a while. Maybe I'm coasting off that fact a little bit. You know, I've been here a while and I've got the audience, but you know, you know, I can't just rely on that. Why would I want to do that? That would be the worst thing to do, Corn King. That's the very last thing I'd want to do. Oh, I've got a cat. I'll be back in a moment. I just need to get the cat out. Come on then, cat. Let's get you outside. Yes, I'm taking you out. It's alright. It's the middle of the street. I don't mind. about the cat on the stream. That always gets viewers. My cat doesn't really do that kind of thing, unfortunately. It's not quite the same as Rocket with Dying Camel. She doesn't really do that kind of thing. Exploit the animals. But just. I mean, that's one of the things that obviously has changed. There's more variety of options now for people to invest their time into. You know, different communities and different people and different options. And am I like just lagging behind? Do I have a USP anymore? Do I have anything that really stands out? You know, gotta consider these things, you know, because there's more, you know, for the sake of slight growth, I guess. I'm trying to figure out, have I perhaps stuck in this rut because I'm not. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just feels like, whereas a year ago I could say, like, sort of chart a rough idea of when I hit 2K, when the growth I could feel, you know, the new followers, the steady rise of numbers on the audience. And now it feels like that's gone. And I'm not sure why. More people? Did the events of February really change something? Did people get fed up with my shtick and just go elsewhere? Did something happen on Twitch's end? I don't know. I really can't say, but it generally feels like there is this sort of slight rut feel to the channel as of recently. Like, I'm doing okay. You know, I'm again, I cannot emphasize enough, I am very grateful for the audience I have. But it does feel like I've hit a bit of a rut at the moment, a bit of a sticking point. And I don't know if I should do something about it, or whether I should just not care because it's not really a big deal, or whatever. I mean, I suppose it could be worse, you know, if I was like starting to lose followers regularly and going into the down cycle, or completely flatlining, then maybe there'd be, you know, that'd be a bit more cause of concern. I mean, I'm still very, very slowly going up. But I do wonder if I've just done something wrong at some point, you know. Did I fuck up somehow, some perception? Is there some PR thing I screwed up with? Or people just moving on to different communities and just like, I don't want to put up with someone who rants at Revenants anymore. I want to watch a Karma streamer. I don't watch this streamer or that streamer. This person play test more stuff. This person plays Doom more, you know. Did I maybe go too far? And did I maybe stop playing Doom so regularly? Is that what turned people away? Did they want to see a bit more Doom? I got the balance wrong. You know, or was this other gameless stuff turned people away? I don't know. I mean, I could just be completely wrong, and maybe things are just as normal as intended. Maybe like the COVID effect and other factors I can't control. I just want to make sure that the reason that I haven't done anything to screw up, that I am responsible for, that I can control. You know, I just don't know. That's just my feeling I get. You know, in general. And again, without any real sort of statistical evidence to back it up, other than I just seem to notice that the followers are a bit slower and audience numbers are slightly down a bit. You know, I mean, my projections are still showing that I will hit 2K eventually, but it's just going to take longer, and, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm caring about the metrics too much, maybe. But, you know, I generally just want to see like a steady growth. It doesn't have to be explosive. As long as it's steady, I don't think I see that anymore. Maybe that's what's irking me a little bit. But should I be irked at all? That's just a feeling. You know, any thoughts appreciated on the matter, you know. Well, Anyway, how is your angelic waifus mod going, Cherub? Have you managed to finish it? Just let it flow, I'd say. Well, you might be right. I mean, I suppose, I'm sorry to sort of go off this. I'm just being honest about what I think, I could be completely wrong, and maybe there's nothing up. And maybe this is just how it is. I just want to express how I feel a little bit. Maybe if once all this other game stuff's out the way, and I can get back to playing Doom a tad more regularly, and I'm not sort of cutting in and out of games more, maybe then things will, feel a bit flowing a bit smoother, perhaps. Going good. Why do all the enemies that set the cyber mastermind working on the cyber worst gone in the way? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't really. I don't have an explanation for it, so I can't really fret over things that I don't know what they are in the first place. I'm just going to carry on doing what I do and hope that. I mean, you can always test it out for a month to see if the demography changes. What would you mean, Colin King? Like, maybe for an entire month I just play Doom and nothing else? It's tough. As you were saying, there are a lot more Doom trials on shows. Well, no, I mean, you're right. I shouldn't worry because... Hey, Crowbar, how's it going? I shouldn't worry because, one, I already have a decent built-in audience. That's you guys and girls. I'm not... And two, I'm not losing followers. Now, this would be different if I was losing followers at a regular rate. I was down to maybe like low 20s for a Doom stream, and no one came to watch the other stuff. That would be a concern if I really was losing followers and audience numbers. But it just feels, I mean, it feels like it's slightly for the Doom stuff. But again, it might just be simply because there's more choice. There's more Doom streamers now. They don't have to. And maybe I have to accept that. There are more options for people. For an example, yeah. Hey, Pinchy. Not many are streaming at the same time, though. I mostly watch you, Jimmy, and Mr. Zool as well. Hey, how you doing, Pinchy? Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's not many at the same time, but, I'm saying there's different options. It's not like it used to be a few years ago where because that is something I distinctly remember a few commenters saying a couple of years ago. They were surprised there was a Doom streamer. That's why people came to the channel. It's like, oh my god, there's someone who plays Doom. I definitely remember getting quite a few new followers who would mention and regularly say that in the past. They would say, wow, someone who plays Doom, it's awesome. And that doesn't happen anymore. Because you could watch a dozen people, and some of them are speedrunners with cool YouTube channels. There's so much choice. Zeus should compare to his streaming right now. You gotta steal his audience. And then it's Jimmy. I can't compete with Mr. Zool or Jimmy, though. Zool's better at the game, and Jimmy does more stuff for the community. The only thing I've done is make one map, which took 2 months and required massive community help, which was awesome, and rant about revenants and subtly change things. That's my contribution. I'm the guy that gets angry at revenants and dumb shit. I'm very passionate about the community and WODs and shit, yeah, but well, that's great. I'm glad you come for the rants. I mean, obviously the rants have to be, not ridiculously boring and unjust. Obviously, I've learned to be more careful around that, but they're going to go away. If fucking Artosis can get away with rants when he plays StarCraft for how long, I should probably just start embracing it a little bit. I'm the guy that rants about dumb shit, right or wrong. Nah, I enjoy your streams. I've been watching for a long time now, I think. Yeah, Zool's doing other good players demos, and Jimmy's using Shadow Riders? Alright, Corn King. No, we're not having this. No! We are not accusing Zool of stealing other good player demos. And Ghost Riders... That's for novels. Jimmy does midis and maps. Are you saying he just hires shadow authors? He doesn't do his own maps, even though he clearly does. He doesn't do his own midis. He just has an AI do it. It's a fraud. Jimmy Paddock is a fraud and a charlatan. And we will expose him with blurry photographic evidence conjured up from a Photoshop document that we found somewhere. And Mr. Zool isn't a good player at all. He just pretends to be good. He uses cheats. He's a Taz runner. He's the next Player K. Even though he streams with a keyboard and uses tapping footage. But it's like those other guys. It's fake footage. He just taps it and pretends. You know? In fact, hold on a second. Let me see if I can set something up here. Hold on. Let me just... Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me just set this up for a sec. Just need to... Give me a sec here. I could set this up real nice. Give me a second. Oh crap, you're not supposed to see that screen. Ignore that. Ignore that! You didn't see it! No! Go away! Hold on. Hold on. Just stop! Not yet. God damn it. I need to set up the other thing. I need to set up the Mr. Zool keyboard thing. Hold on. Hold on. Keyboard here. Fuck. Hold on. Oh wait, Mr. Zool doesn't show his face, does he? He only shows the keyboard. So if I do like that, and then like... Okay guys, here we go. I'm doing uplook. Here we go. This is how we play it, guys. This is just playing uplook. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna make it. Ah, it's buffering! No! I skipped forward. I used time magic. Ah! I used the time magic to warp time. Yes, here we go, guys. Oh no, I'm exposed. My career is over. Look, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing the Taz. I mean, the uplook, guys. Look, here we go. Whee! That's it. Woo! I'm doing it. Look at those archviles. They're dead. Yeah, here we go. Press the button. It's a big swatter. Yeah, come on. Kill them all. Oh, wait. I could probably do this anyway. Alright, you get the idea. Enough of that. Alright. Back to normal position now. Chokes when it's course, John. Okay, let's flip the screen. Whoa. Wait, I can flip this. I can flip this? Oh, yeah, I can. I can flip it. Whee, look at that, I can flip it. Good eye, mates. Alright, good eye, mates. This is an Australian stream. Struth for crows, dingham, and all that. Put another shrimp on the bar, it's time for some fucking sweet stage. You'll have to turn yourself upside down to view it. Oh, this is cool. I should play around with these the first one. Alright, back to normal. Right, enough of that silly shit. Right. You gotta deplatform them to get those precious viewers. 700 APM, yeah. I mean, thank you for reminding me I shouldn't really worry about that kind of stuff, but I do feel that maybe I gotta either put more effort in somewhere. I need to perhaps put more effort into something. I might try your idea, actually, Corn King. I might just play Doom for an entire month at some point. I'm not sure when. Obviously not now, because, You know, I'm in the middle of a playthrough of Virtue's Last Reward. But I might try that actually for a month. I might just say, fuck it. I'm going to play Doom for the entire month and nothing else. Let's see what happens. I think that's actually a worthwhile experiment to run, actually. I'll make a quick note here. That's not actually a bad suggestion. I might do that. Like, just play nothing but Doom stuff for an entire month and see what happens. You know, if I notice a bit of a difference, then I can at least get a gauge for something. But anyway. Yeah. So, you know. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not throwing shade or being jealous of any of these other streamers and stuff, you know. It's nice that there's more Doom streaming options. It really is. It's nice that there's more channels out there, because I remember when there wasn't a lot of options for people, you know. Like, if I wanted to watch Doom stuff back in the day, I had very few options. Now I'm spoiled for things I can watch in the background, you know. There's so many different creative types coming through the ranks, you know. Bridge Burner, who's probably going to take over and be the next big thing probably in a few years at this rate, with his Hellforge Studios and all that stuff. You know, I remember when he was, as I said, I remember when he was just a slaughter map streamer who was streaming Age of Hell with his friend and no one watched him. And now he's like getting regularly 20, 30. He's got interviews, he's got all that good stuff. I'm actually surprised he doesn't get more people watching his channel. It's a bit weird. He'll be streaming something and only have about 20 people watching him, which I think is a bit weird. I feel like he should be getting more viewers regularly. You know, I remember when Ostinado was just a guy that did Scourge, and now he does regular playtesting streams. He's got a small little piece, you know. And yeah, initially it was Dragonfly when Bridgeburner took over. Not everyone prefers it. Not everyone prefers it. Bridgeburner seems a likable guy and all that, you know. You know, I've been around this Doom streaming thing long enough to see the rise of several talents, in a sense, you know, and I in turn have, you know, the competition has increased, and I have to accept that, you know. I gotta find a different sort of selling point, or reinforce an existing one. I don't know, you know. I should just be happy with the audience that I have, and I am. But there's nothing wrong with striving for a little bit of growth, right? As long as you don't cry over stupid shit. Slaughter maps on easy. Let's go! Slaughter maps! Fuck! Yeah, slaughter maps. I wonder if because I no longer play that kind of stuff regularly, that might have turned a few people off. Ish. Well, I never really regularly played it anyway, but, you know. Well, I say that, I still do play them occasionally. I just sort of have a calmer approach. I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying about nothing. Maybe I should be not, you know. I've observed something, but it's not like it's a critical bad thing, you know. Oh no, I slightly slower game forwards, and I have slightly 1 or 2 less people that watch my Doom stuff because you don't play it regularly anymore. You know, I still have a good audience of nice people who watch me do shit, and at least I have that, and others do not. You know, what is it the Stoic Thing video told me? Be grateful for what you have and not what you don't, because, you know, what you have now is something that you once wanted, you know. And I suppose there is that. I mean, back when I first started, I was saying like, oh man, getting 20, 30 views for a Doom stream, having a regular audience, getting paid to stream-ish. Screw like £1 million. You know, I'm pretty sure when I would have started out back in 2014, 2015, You know, those are things I would have liked to have had, and now I've got them. You know, I just hope that I don't start declining, actually declining magically. That would be a worry. And I'm not, thankfully. I just hope that I'm not missing something very obvious that I need to do to change things that will be an improvement. You know, I don't want to be like going, oh man, I wish I'd done this. But okay, I'm not going to dwell anymore. Thanks for listening to my thought process. And I will definitely try out that idea of doing Doom for an entire month. That seems like a solid plan to me. And I do appreciate you all, you know. I have a good audience. I really do mean that. I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. I really do appreciate the fact that you stuck around me for this long and put up with some of the dumb shit I've done in the past. And I will continue to entertain and hopefully inspire some of you for years to come. But it'd be nice if there was about 70 more of you. I want 100. I want to hit 100. That's actually a goal I'd like to hit one day. I'd have to, you know, I'd like to hit 100 viewers one day, you know, regularly. I want those really big King Dime numbers. You know, and there's nothing wrong with having that kind of ambitious target, you know. I once streamed in front of 150 people plus regularly back in the Dope Lives days. And I would like to do that again if I can. If I could somehow find the magic formula that gets all the Doom bitches into the yard. And then they realise that the yard's full of revenants and they die horribly, and then they leave the yard and complain that it's too difficult. Or something like that. Moving on. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I'll now proceed to lose all my viewers. Bye! I suppose I should talk about the Uncle Bowl update. The Uncle Bowl update. Why do I have to mention this? Well, wait, can I even... No, wait, I probably can't actually play the clip because it's King of the Hill and it's probably copyrighted, and the last time I did that, I did have a problem with playing a clip and I had to edit it out of a YouTube video, actually, when I actually played a full clip of some other thing. But there's a clip that summarizes... I'll just... Don't play it. Do not play it. Just link it in the chats. Link it in the chats. There you go. That is the clip that summarizes my Iron Man run. My Iron Man run on Saturday. Surprise, then disappointment. You know, I really felt like I let myself and the audience down that night. I was getting you all hyped for like a map, at least a map 15 fully, a big finish, you know, something that get hyped for. And then I just die like that. It was so bad. It was so bad. You know. So yeah, basically I did not manage to beat Mutt. Mutt now is 5-2 in the lead. And if he wins the next two, he will have won the contest by September, which is a depressing thought. But I must now. I have to try really hard. I can't afford any more mistakes. There's been too many shitty mistakes that have been costing me. You know, Alien Vendetta, I screwed up a simple pit jump. Firebox, I decided to play live when I should have just recorded a run and just beat him on that. And Scythe 2 is just not calculating an Archvile Blinding Flame in a practice when I really should have done more than a few times. You know, I should have, you know, something I didn't consider just tripped me up. You know, and it bummed me out. It really did. It bummed me out, that stream. I actually did go out to the local pub after that and have a few drinks. I felt like I disappointed everyone in a sense, you know. I was like one of those hype Iron Man runs. I was like, you know, I was setting up for either a glorious failure that was so close on map 15, or I was setting up for a big win. you know, and then it was just a bit of a deflation to be sunk on something that I thought I'd practiced, that I thought I had down, and I didn't. I just got screwed, you know. So chat is complete. The chat is so quiet right now. Chat is so quiet. They're all wait. What am I waiting for? Excuse me. Wait! What's the video in reference I had muted stream temporarily? I was referencing how my Iron Man run went. That's how I feel about it. You know, that YouTube link. You know, surprise and disappointment. You know, a King of the Hill reference. It's a show I never really watched, but I've seen plenty of clips of it. I'm talking about my Uncle Bo run, my Iron Man run, and how disappointing it was to die on map 10 when it was supposed to be a much longer run, an exciting run, you know, a hype run where it gets close at least, or it's entertaining for a long period, you know. It just feels like at the moment that Monster's going to walk away with the Uncle Bo, and that's going to be the end of it. And then the Iron Man just becomes a thing that I do. You know, it feels like I need to book up my ideas and really practice, or really make sure I'm on top of my game for this month. And speaking of which, I don't even know what this month's is. I don't have a clue. Like, I'm not kidding right now. There's no thread for either contest right now. The Iron Man thread is not up, and it's the second day of the month. You know, the last few months we've been pretty good at having this having them up on the first day, and now it's like there's no thread up at the moment. Like if I pop onto Doom World right now, which I am doing, unless it has just come up in the last hour or so, just need to check. No, it's not up. It is. There's no thread. You know, I don't think Scythe 2 is running. Is Scythe 2 running into August? Doesn't say so. Just says here, deadline 31st of July. I know that Reaper needs to update the leaderboard, but that's it. How about a community ladder for next year? A community ladder. What do you for what, you will follow me? Sorry. Ugh. Oh, for Iron Man. What you mean? What would that involve, Evil Follow Me, exactly? There's already a leaderboard for the overall thing, and there's also one every month, you know, who gets the furthest, etc. So forth. I don't know why I'm a bit tired. I shouldn't be. I gotta head out after this and take care of something. But yeah, I hope the Iron Man is gonna go ahead this month. I need to find out what I need for. What about one specific to this community then? What you mean, like between a few of us in the community we test it? That could be an idea. Maybe for next year. Yeah, I'll put that down as a suggestion. Not for this year, obviously, because I've got the Uncle Bo and stuff, and we need a bit more stability, I guess, in the Ironmans. But That's not a bad suggestion. I'll note that down. We could set that up for next year, perhaps, between a few of us. We'd have to get a few regular participants, of course, and we'd have to set up a prize or something. But it's not a bad idea. I quite like that. That could be interesting, especially if it was one I ran myself. I will definitely. Sorry. I'll definitely look into that. For sure. But yeah, I don't know what next month's Iron Man is, so I can't really prepare at the moment. But Iron Man will be going first again, and I'll be following up. So hopefully, whoever it is and whatever it is isn't too difficult. But we'll see. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need more community involvement in things. Maybe that's the edge I've lost a little bit. You know, too isolationist, perhaps. I know people suggested like co-op stuff and co-commentary stuff, and I've been stubborn in my ways maybe a little bit. Maybe that's the edge I've lost. Maybe. Alright, well, that's all the main points that... Oh man, I wish I had a prompt from Danganronpa for this part. I need to set that up, maybe like a little sound clip I can play. Would be nice. But now it is that time of the unless I can drag it up real quick. Let me see if I can. Sorry, let me see if I can find it. What the? No, I want from. Fuck. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. No. Where's the? Can't find it. Never mind. Can't find it. I don't know if I can set up the clip. I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, it's that time of the sweet state where we have audience questions, and I have, thanks to last month, a nice little picture for it. Ta-da! What do you think? It's time for any questions from the audience. So, is there anything you've ever wanted to ask? Now is the time to do it. So feel free to ask any question you want for a little bit. Go right ahead. Where was that thumbnail all this time? What, you mean this one for the audience questions? Well, it was only brought up last week, thanks to... Oh, Jesus. Have I really not credited the person who made this? Oh, hang on. I probably have, actually. It's probably just in the pictures. Just hold on a second. Oh, yeah. It was... not Craj. Biodegradable. That was it. Biodegradable from Doomworld came up with this one. I have created them. It's just... in the actual file name, thankfully. So yeah, Biodegradable came up with this last sweet state, and it was created, which was very nice. So again, any questions for me, feel free to ask them. I have a little bit of time, but then I need to head out and get some stuff. And I said, busy week this week. Got a lot of things to do. So, about anything that's been said during the sweet state, or any questions you want to ask in general, now is the time to ask them, if you so wish. How's that fight going against your own weight? It's still a fight. I am hoping to, as I mentioned at the start of this sweet state, I am hoping to get down to the 17 stone bracket by the start of September, I'm going to really knuckle down for August and really try and lose as much weight as I can in the next 4 weeks or so. So hopefully when I do the next sweet state in September, when I'm back in work again, I will be able to report with a big smile on my face, hey everyone, I'm 17 stone. That'll be something nice to do. Because at the current status, I only need to lose about half a stone, a few pounds, and I'll be in it. So I just need to knuckle down, stop snacking, stop trying to fill the void with crap, and fill it with more productive things instead. And I'll be good. And I'll all be good. You know? But it is going to be a tough fight this month, and hopefully I'm going to... Yes, Corn King, that's my weakness, unfortunately. Afraid to say. It's been my weakness for a while. Honestly, if I could overcome that weakness that would probably be the death knell for my weight problems. Because because in regards to everything else, I'm pretty good now. You know, I've improved quite a few things in the last few years, especially last year. And I just need to get rid of this snacking curse, and once I get rid of that, I'm laughing. You know, I'm laughing. Hey, need help? Just earned 300 points for my watch streak. For fuck's sake, Twitch. How you doing, Need Help? We're at the audience questions part of my making a game out of everything. Yeah, well, you know, you gotta get those points so you can do things. I need to add more channel point things, actually. That's something I could work on. But I haven't. Maybe I could add one for the save command. I'll think of that when I get back from my other thing afterwards. So maybe I'll add a few extra ones for tonight's stream of Brutal Hex and the continuation. Good, I'm glad to hear you're fine. So if you got any audience questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise I'm going to go and do shit. Don't be all shy. You know, don't all ask at once. Oh, I suppose if you want a summary of the sweet state, Need Health, since you just got here. I'm enjoying my summer break. I'm trying to get down to 17 stone by the start of September. I got a busy week ahead. My Wednesday nights are now poker nights again, so there'll be no streams on Wednesday evenings. In Sound Mind has been delayed to the 28th of September, so that won't be a problem for the current summer streaming plans. Virtue's Last Award's going to take a while, probably the rest of summer, if not longer, to complete. I'm still considering doing a poker stream one night in summer, next 4 weeks. I asked how people felt about alternating between other game and Doom stuff in a sort of stream of a game for 1 or 2 streams and alternate back to a Doom thing. People like that so far. I will be checking at busier times to see how people feel about that month upon month to see if people are still cool with that. My other game list probably isn't going to get done until next year. The Uncle Bowl was terrible, and I don't know what this month's Iron Man is because the thread's not up yet. Evil Foamy suggested a community ladder for Iron Man runs maybe next year within this community. Maybe we can have a little competition going, which I will look into. I also generally feel like this channel is slightly in a bit of a rut growth-wise, but I don't really have any. It's just a general feeling I have with no real massive stats to back it up. And I shouldn't really worry about it. It's just something I've observed. You know, obviously there's a lot of different Doom channels and other factors. And that's basically a summary of the sweet state. Oh, and we ranted about Activision Blizz for about 20 minutes or something at one point. As you do. And F1. Poker Nights too, yeah, but it's going to be actual poker. It will be like on PokerStars. It won't be like Poker Night at the Inventory. It's going to be an actual poker game with real money on the line. Not a lot, mind, but it's going to be an actual game. As it's going to be an experiment stream to see if people care for poker stuff. So that's the summary of the sweet state. Need help. And I guess no one has any questions. I guess I've asked them already. Or you're all content for now. So that's cool. Now does it? She's sorry. And I probably should have done this sweet state a bit later to catch a few more people. I started too early, I think. We are satisfied with you for now. And I've lost a follower. I've lost a follower during this sweet state. I'm now down to 1932. That happens every so often. Okay, well, I guess that's it for this sweet state 37. So I will be playing more Brutal Hexen tonight. Maybe I'll finish Brutal Hexen, maybe I won't. We'll see how it goes. Then I won't be streaming for the next 2 days because I'm busy with stuff. Or I don't know. I won't be streaming like nights anyway. Maybe Wednesday afternoon. Maybe I'll do something. We'll see. But the next stream but then it'll be Thursday for the next night stream. But yeah. Other than that, thank you all for coming, and I think we will go and... Oh wait, Dan Campbell isn't live right now. Well, I will send you over to Mr. Zool then, in that case, who's doing some Doom. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all when I see you for Brutal Hexen or in the future for any other game. Stay safe and have a good day.